Today's video is a Stamping 101. We're going to talk about how to mount the stamps onto acrylic blocks, how to do a really quick cleaning of the acrylic blocks, and also the different types of acrylic blocks. We're going to start from the beginning of stamping that I have a wood stamp set to share with you. We'll talk about that really quick and why Stampin' Up! Made some of the changes that it did. So I hope this helps you, and I want to be sure to say thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Julia. I am with Julia Sue's Stamping, where I am passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafts, card making, and sharing the fun of how to do all of that with you. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome. And if you've been here many times, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to make this really quick and simple. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate your support of my small business. Let's get started. So I'm going to move these aside for just a second. I'm going to start with this. Does anyone recognize this? It is the Wetlands stamp set, and it is a thicker web packaging than a lot of them we have today, because this is wood. Ugh, yes. Oh my gosh. Is this like a sight for sore eyes for some people? Yes, we used to have all of these stamps on wood blocks. I loved this technique of doing this. The problem with this was that it takes up a lot of space. Is using some materials of wood that we could perhaps save in this world economy that we have. This you know, the what is that called? You know, with saving trees. And so ecology. Anyway, I'm obviously not able to think of things very well. And so when you put these on, you would get it in a big strip, and then you would punch out the stamps, put them on the wood, you would mount them on the wood, and then you would mount this sticker on the back to show what the heck the stamp was. The problem was a lot of times you did not get the stamps on straight, so you had to use like a Stamp-A-Majig or something like that to help you get your stamps on your project straight, or you would just learn what ones were always crooked and how far they were crooked, and you would learn to accommodate that when you were stamping. So this is what we used to always have, the wood, and it took up a lot of space, but we don't have that anymore. What we have today are much slimmer ones, and you can see two stamp sets still take up less space than one of the wood did. Not much, but just a little bit, like an eighth or almost a quarter inch less space to have the different stamp sets they have today. So we have cling stamp sets. This is the same red rubber that you saw on that wood stamp set. And it is, you still get that big piece of rubber that is in the stamp when you open it up in the case. And then you punch out your stamps, and it has instructions for how to do all the mounting and everything right here in the packaging. Every one of the packages has this, and I like to keep the red rubber in because it helps me know if that stamp is missing out of my set. So when I've used it, and if you look through the back, you can see all of your stamps that are available to use. I always mark mine if I have dies or embossing folders or something that go with it. I like to mark them. And so these have a very, very, very sticky substance that is on the words, the sticker part, and it sticks to the block like nobody's business. So we have blocks that are sold separately these days. You can buy them separately at a craft store or through Stampin' Up. Stampin' Ups, I think there are proprietary. I think they have IP on them, intellectual property on them, where it has this grip that's very similar. I'll bring the wood back to see how the wood ones have like this grip built in, and that was nice because you were less likely to drop it when you're stamping your image, and that means less mistakes and less waste. Stampin' Up's acrylic blocks have that same thing. They have a little grip here that you can use when you're stamping. But like in all the kits, they give you these, and they're much slimmer. They are don't have that grip, but they're still great. And I obviously, I have a lot of these. I keep them all because it's just another acrylic block that I can use, and that's fabulous. So I have these that I bought literally from Stampin' Up, and then these that I get in the kits, and I use both of them pretty much interchangeably. It actually has Stampin' Up written on it inside there, so that's pretty cool, because then you know that's where you got it. So it's very sticky, and it's going to stay on there. In fact, sometimes I have a hard time getting them off because they really stay on very well, and that's a good thing. I would rather have it stick really well than to have a problem with it and have it fall off while I'm inking, while I'm stamping. So you can see how easily they go on and off. They're very easy to clean. You can wipe it with a cloth if you want. Just get it wet and wipe them off. You can use, Stampin' Up! Has a chamois. They also have a little cleaning device that you can use, or you can just run them underwater and then wipe them off with a towel. I didn't put that in very well. There we go. So now it's in there also. So that's the cling set, and it's a rubber. It's a red rubber stamp set. It's a cling. This is a photopolymer, and the difference is it's clear and you can see through it. And in most all the kits, I think in all of the kits, you'll get photopolymer stamps. So you can see right through them. They're nice because you can see right where you're stamping, and you can just, if they come like this, you do not have to do anything to it. You do not have to assemble it. You don't have to put any of the stickers on. They come just like this, and that's pretty nice. So it peels right off, and you want to put it on an appropriate size acrylic like that. So that works very well, and that sticks super well. The problem is though, it doesn't have that rubber. So I always bring in a pad, like a piercing mat, and that gives me the extra give that I need. I'm bringing in a piece of grid paper to show you. So you want to open up the ink, and all you do is a little tap. You don't squish it in, rub it around. It's just a tap, and then you go down and up. You don't want to rock when you are stamping either. It's just a down and up. So some basics 101. And to clean the acrylic blocks is super easy. I use little rubbing alcohol prep pads. You can use the liquid rubbing alcohol in a bottle and put it on a cotton pad or a cotton ball and wipe off your acrylic blocks, giving them a little spa day. I have another whole video about that. Some of the stamps are longer, like in this one is the Happy Labels photopolymer. You can tell because it's clear as well. You don't see any of the red rubber, and it's nice because they always have all the stamp sets written down here at the bottom, and I try to put them back on in pretty much the same place, so I know if I'm missing one, because I'll be able to clearly see all the words underneath there, and I'll think, oh, that stamp set, where the heck is it? When you put them onto the acrylic block, you want to have the acrylic block be as close to the size of your stamp as you can. That makes it easier for you when you're stamping and less likely to get ink that you've inked up. You know, maybe you got some ink from the pad on the outside, and if it's closer to the correct size, you're not going to worry about that. But if it's a huge size and compared to your stamp, you will probably get ink on it, and then you're more likely to get that on your project as well. That's a Basics 101 with using the acrylic blocks, how to mount the stamps onto them, both the rubber ones and the photopolymer. Also, how to do a really quick cleaning. I hope that you got something out of this, and if you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments. I appreciate your time of hanging out with me here today. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic day and that you have a chance to get inky. Happy crafting. Bye.